Welcome to a place where hearts unwind, infinite threads that gently bind, love and compassion in every line. Together we rise through space and time.
Welcome back, dear friends, to Infinite Threads, conversations on love, connection, and compassion. As always, I'm your host, Bob, and today's different. This wasn't what I planned. I had a different idea lined up for episode 104. Something more lighthearted. Something that leaves you walking into your day with a smile. But love, real love, doesn't always wear a smile. Sometimes it limps in, bruised and breathless, carrying a shattered mirror and asking, "Will you still hold me now?" This is one of those episodes. A real breakdown, guys. I had a fight this week. Not a disagreement, not a tension-filled exchange. A full-blown, red-faced, weeping, yelling, soul-tearing fight with someone I've known most of my life. A childhood friend who also happens to be a coworker. We had a falling out a few years back and only recently began thawing the ice between us. I thought we were on the way to healing. I thought the thread was holding. And then, snap! He thought I had deliberately locked him out of work. I hadn't. I had made a mistake. When programming the security doors, instead of 7 p.m., I set them to lock at 5 p.m. Human error, but in his eyes it was targeted punishment, betrayal. He came at me hard, hurt, angry, accusatory, and I didn't respond with grace. I wish I had. I wish I could tell you I was calm, centered, loving. But I wasn't. I snapped too, hard. I threw back every ounce of energy he gave me, every hurt, every insult, every wounded feeling I'd buried over the years. It was not pretty. I cursed, I shouted, I sobbed. We both did. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't holy, and it was human. It was the rupture beneath the surface. I've said before that trauma lives in the thread of connection, quietly tightening until something small snaps it wide open. And that's exactly what happened. This wasn't about a door. It wasn't about access codes. It was about all the unresolved hurt beneath years of silence. The disappointment of friendship that had drifted into shadow. The grief of two boys who had grown up alongside one another but had never really healed alongside each other. We pretend old wounds don't hurt if we just don't talk about them. But silence doesn't equal peace. It just masks the noise until the volume explodes. That's what this moment was. An eruption of everything unsaid. It's what love really looks like. This is where I need to be honest with you again. I didn't live up to the ideals that I talk about here. I wasn't the best version of myself. I wasn't the wise voice. I wasn't the one showing restraint. I was someone cracked open by the heat of an old, familiar fire, and for a few terrible minutes, I let it consume me. But I also want to tell you this, that moment didn't end in hate. It ended in humility. After the storm passed, he came back, my friend. He stood in the ashes of what we'd just burned and said, "I'm sorry." Not defensively, not conditionally. And then I apologized too, not because I was obligated, but because it was true, because I missed him, because even after everything, I still care about him. Repair is a sacred practice, guys. We don't talk enough about the beauty of repair. In a culture that often cancels or ghosts, we forget that the deepest love isn't found in never messing up. It's in what happens after the mess. Repair is a skill, a sacred one. Saying, "I'm sorry," doesn't mean you failed. It means you've chosen to care more about connection than being right. And forgiveness, it's not weakness. It's spiritual maturity. It says, "I see your worst moment and I still choose to stay connected." It's easy to love when everything is smooth. But love tested, love that rebuilds the bridge even after it's been set on fire, that's where the power lies. Let's talk about shame. I know some of you listening have had your own version of this. Maybe it was a fight, a breakdown, a moment where you lashed out or shut down or pushed someone away out of fear. Maybe you're still sitting with shame from that moment. Let me tell you something as someone who just went through it. Shame is a liar. Shame says you're not who you say you are. But growth says you are still becoming. And love, unconditional love, says, "I still see you even now." We don't lose our worth in a moment of failure. We reveal our worth in what we do after. Love is a choice. I say that all the time to you too. Love is a choice that we make every day. There's a reason I talk so much about unconditional love and the healing presence it brings. It's because in moments like these, when you feel like you've undone everything, you need to believe that love isn't gone. It's waiting. Love is always waiting. But it doesn't knock on the door with confetti and warm cookies. Sometimes it knocks with calloused hands, asking, "Will you let me back in after what just happened?" Say yes. Because that moment, that yes, can change everything. I've started asking myself a question in nearly everything I do now, and I've said this on various other episodes. Is this coming from a place of love? Not just kindness, not just politeness, but love. If the answer is yes, even if I'm being firm, even if I'm holding a boundary, then I know I'm aligned with my values. If the answer is no, if I'm acting out of fear, resentment, ego, then it's time to pause, time to reevaluate. This simple question has saved me from escalating more fights than I can count. It's helped me apologize sooner, speak more clearly, and love more deeply. Try it. Ask yourself before the text, before the meeting, before the decision, before the post. Is this coming from a place of love? It will change the way you live, guys. To any one of you who snapped the thread, maybe it was yesterday, Maybe it was 10 years ago. You yelled or ran away or ghosted or shut down or hurt someone who trusted you or hurt yourself by pretending that you didn't care. You're not beyond love. You're not beyond repair. The thread of compassion doesn't dissolve when it's strained. It waits to be retied. So if you can, take a deep breath and reach out. Apologize, forgive, ask to talk, even if it's messy, especially if it's messy. Sometimes the most sacred love is found in the rebuilding. Thank you for walking this vulnerable path with me today. It's a tough one. If this episode speaks to you, share it. Share it with someone you've hurt, or someone who's hurt you, or just someone who needs a reminder that even broken people can love beautifully. As always, I'll see you in the next one. Until then, choose love. I love you guys very, 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 very much. And you know what I need you to do? Go out and pass that on. Later, Gators.